So allow yourself to be seated with your spine straight, and you can be on a chair so your feet are grounded, or you can lay semi-supine so your feet are touching the earth, so you can build and cultivate a connection with your earth star chakra underneath your feet. And taking a big deep breath in, pulling up the energy from underneath your feet, from the earth, and releasing. And taking another breath in, up through the feet, energizing the feet chakras, feeling them ignite, and then releasing, taking a big releasing breath. And doing this one more time, pulling the energy up through your feet, through your calves, through your shins, into the base of your body, and releasing. And now taking a big breath up, you can pull it right through your spine and out the top of your head, and collecting energy above your head, pulling it back down, releasing the breath. And doing this again, big breath in, up through the feet, the spine, the head, collecting the light and releasing. One more time, gathering all that nutrition in the earth, up through the body, breathe in, and then releasing. I want you to keep on breathing, taking a big deep breath into the root chakra. And this is located between the genitals and the anus, very low down in your body. And to keep breathing into this space, focusing on the color of bright red. And the element of this chakra is the earth, our base, our grounding. So breathing into this space, this energy vortex, and releasing back down to the earth. This energy point is also associated with the adrenal glands. And this space often gets put out of balance when we've had trauma or grief. Our desire for security, our survival, has been knocked off of balance. Our sense of safety of ourself and perhaps our family line or friendships, or through losing a loved one, this chakra has come out of balance. So to help your adrenal glands calm and soothe and help your body nourish, keep breathing into this space, big deep breaths, and releasing back down to the earth. And see if any images come into your mind's eye, if anything's stored in this space. You can just collect this information. Recall any feelings or sensations. Knowing that once your body has had a good cleanse, a tap in, an acknowledgement, will come back to release the trauma completely from this timeline. Breathing in again, taking a big deep breath, tapping into your sacral chakra, which is about 1 hand's width below your navel. This is the colour orange and the element of water, so feel that water flowing as you're breathing in to your lower stomach and releasing. Breathing in and releasing back down the legs. And this is the space that is near the ovaries and the testes, but also associated with the organs of the large intestines, the bladder, the kidneys, the reproductive organs. And when your body is in a stressed state, or you're going through fear or loss, it can often have a pressure on the bladder, this nervous energy. So soothing all these vital organs, breathing in and releasing back down the legs, and keep breathing in and releasing. And breathing in and just tapping in to see if anything comes into your mind's eye in this space. And if it does, you can witness it. If there's any sensations, keep breathing into it, welcome it in, feeling any energy that might be trapped in this space. Releasing it back down to the earth, giving your body the vital nourishment it needs. And if we're struggling to express our feelings or suppressing those things that we naturally need in life, then this area can often be stuck, blocked. And a great way to release this is just breathing in, breathing out, keeping your attention on this area. And then moving up to the solar plexus chakra, which is around one hand's width above the navel. And allowing breath into this space to clear it and releasing it back down the legs. An associated gland is the pancreas. So breathing right into that. Is there any tightness around this area? Sometimes we hold a lot of emotional energy in our lower back. So breathing in, seeing if there's any images that come up in your mind's eye. Is there any emotions? And this is the space where we fluctuate between feeling and being. It's the space that starts with our desires, our wishes. But often there can be a desire to dominate or control, push down, stop, do. And this can help us feel safe when we have some sense of control. But often when we lose a loved one or go through grief, breakdown of any kind of relationship and change, we come to the understanding that we can't control. So breathe into this space. Give yourself the license to feel, to heal it, and see if anything comes up in your mind's eye. Breathing into it and releasing. Breathing in and releasing down the legs. And now tapping into your heart chakra. This is at the center of your chest, associated with the color green. And we've just moved up from the solar plexus, which was the color yellow. And this is associated with the glands, the thymus gland and the heart and the lungs. And lungs are very connected to grief. We hold grief in the lungs. So I want you to breathe into your chest space and see if there's any sadness or hurt or pain held here. And we can often put a wall around our heart so we don't have to feel things so intensely. And this can lead to negative emotions getting stuck. And you're going to give yourself the license again to feel, welcome it in, to feel whatever sadness or grief that's been trapped and locked into your body. And the best way to release this is to breathe in, pull the shoulders back, opening the heart space, and breathe out and contract. Very similar to the cat-cow motion in yoga. Breathing in, and you can use your arms to stretch out your chest space, or you can just imagine it, or just wriggle slightly if you're laying down, pushing the chest space open as you breathe in, releasing the breath as you curl backwards. And taking some big deep breaths, just encouraging this space to release. Seeing if there's any images of grief, of sadness that's been locked into your body, and encouraging it to release on the breath. And you can release all this stagnant energy outwards. Push it out, push it out, push it out and away from the body. And coming up to your throat chakra, in between your collarbones, seeing a light blue colour. And this is associated with elements of both air and ether, and also associated with your thyroid gland. This is also your inner voice, your inner guidance, your intuition. Sometimes there's words locked in this space that we didn't get to say to a loved one before they passed. Or we found it really difficult to be in stillness and silence because of the grief and the sadness that comes with endings. Is in the body, and I want you to just breathe into this throat chakra and release it, and this time release it upwards, out through the crown. Breathing in, see if there's any tightness around the shoulders, the neck, encouraging it to just breathe out, and see if there's any words that are floating. They can sometimes just be vibrating around the ears. Any trapped words that are linked with emotions, breathing in and releasing them up and out the top of the head. And when this throat chakra is released and open, we have a higher sense of creativity and communication. And this allows us to communicate with the spirit world, loved ones that have passed on much more easily. So release that out of your throat. And moving up to the third eye. And this is between the eyes. And the colour indigo, associated with all the elements but the organ of the brain. And often when we're going through a dark spell or grief or loss, our brain gets foggy, we get muddled, we can't think straight. And this is our brain trying to hold on to an old way of being. We're focusing on intellect and making sense of things. We're afraid of our intuition because we've been knocked out of balance. So feel yourself breathing in and sending energy right up the spine into the pineal gland and releasing. Breathing in from the stomach all the way up through the third eye, out the top of the head, and then bringing it back down through the body and releasing. And doing that again. Breathe in right from the root, expand the belly all the way up through the third eye and coming back down, and seeing if there's any images. There's often trauma linked to the third eye, and that stops it from opening fully. We close it down. But this is a very high center connected with those realms beyond the veil of 3D and the physical. So opening this up so you can feel more expansive. And finally connecting in with the crown at the top of the head. The violet, white or gold colour. And this is also associated with the brain. But often when we're going through grief, loss, sadness, emotional breakdown, this is the state of anxiety and fear that we get locked into. A sense of depression and aloneness, and a blocking off of the connection of the cosmos, the higher light, all that is around us, our spirits, connection, our soul self. A feeling sense of those loved ones just whispering or tapping into just beyond the veil. So breathing in, right from the root, up through the legs, up through the spine, up through the third eye, up into the crown, the expansive area, and breathing out, all back down through the body, through the feet, and release. And take that journey in the time that it takes you to take that journey for you, breathing in, all the way up through the body, breathing out, and just focusing on whether there's any images locked in the mind's eye, spiraling round, traumatic memories. And breathe them in and out. And one more time, breathing in right through the body, up through the feet, the legs, the torso, the chest, the stomach. Breathing that in again, right through the legs, the torso, your stomach, your chest, your throat, your third eye, your crown, and releasing back down to the earth. And breathing in again and connecting with your higher being, your higher self. From this expanded, open, tapped-in feeling space, now step deeper into meditation.
I'd like you to start by taking in a nice deep breath and then slowly breathing out. And again, as you take in a nice deep breath, breathe in love and light. And breathe out anything you don't need. Once more, one more nice deep breath. And breathe out, release any tension. Close your eyes and just bring your awareness down from your mind, down into the core of yourself, down to your hara points behind your belly button. Just bring your awareness down internally. I'd like you to use your imagination now to Imagine there's a timeline of your life stretched out in your mind. It might be going in front of you, behind, left or right, whatever's right for you. Just imagine a timeline of your life with the past going one way and the future the other. I'd like you to imagine floating up now above your timeline. So float above your timeline, turn to face the past. And I'd like you to look down that timeline. It's got all your past experiences, past events. And I'd like you to look down and see an event shining like a light up on your timeline. And this event where you may have experienced some trauma or negative feelings, or something that's been a really upsetting time, perhaps around a person that has passed. An event related to this. So just picture that event in your mind, see it on your timeline. And what I want you to do now is float above your timeline back to that event. Float to just this side of the incident and just notice how that event or that incident shows up for you. You're perfectly safe, you're at ease at all times, just watching yourself there, watching that incident. Perfectly safe. Just notice what shows up from you now from this view. Noticing any thoughts, noticing any messages you want to hear, noticing any feelings and any emotions, how this might show up in your body. Think about that visual, what you can see, the images that are in your mind. And we're now going to choose to release any of those traumatic feelings. We're going to release any of those images that cause us pain, never forgetting, but still releasing that painful attachment to them. So I want you to look down, I want you to see that image, and I want you to drain any colour out of it. So start to drain any colour, see it going grey, see it going black and white. Down there on your timeline, it's going grainy, it's going blurry. And then I want you to start to shrink that image so it becomes smaller and smaller on your timeline. Perhaps you can think of it getting smaller or folding it in half. Whatever works for you, just see that shrinking and shrinking so it's a tiny, tiny dot on your timeline. And then if there's any sound associated to this, if there was any background noise or things going around in your head, just start to notice how that sound gets quieter and quieter and quieter, so there's nothing left at all. With your awareness now in your body, bring your awareness down to your stomach area, your gut, your lower energy centers, and just start to notice if there's any sensations there, any stuck emotion, feelings or energy, just noticing the shape or the texture if it's heavy. So we're now going to start to release and move this stuck feeling, this stuck energy. So using your powerful mind, focus on that area and start to move that stuck feeling. Maybe it's a heaviness, maybe it's an ache. Just start to think about it spinning in a motion, a bit like a whirlwind, going round, starting to spin. It may be slow at first, but just focus on moving that trapped or stuck emotion. The spinning is speeding up now, so it's collecting anything that's stuck and that needs to move. Perhaps start to change that colour of that trapped feeling into a brighter, happier colour, or a colour that you think of as cleansing and healing. Turn up that colour and the brightness, speed up the spinning. It's getting faster and faster, clearing, cleansing, starting to release. And when you're ready and that spinning has collected all that stuck emotion or negativity, just use your deeper mind to push that shape, that thing you no longer need, that emotion you've now healed, push it outside of your body. Visualize it in front of you. Keep pulling any last bits out of your body in front of you and then send it on its way. Let it drift further and further away into space, release and let go. And now looking back down on your timeline, you can see all these events, all these things that happen to you for exactly what they are. They're all learning opportunities. There's so many happy moments as well. They're events that make you strong, they're experiences that make you more courageous. But just look up and down your timeline now and see every event, everything that's happened to you like a beacon of light. A beacon of light and an opportunity to grow strong, to be more aligned to your purpose and to help others. So now I want you to face back to the present day and your timeline. And I want you to look for an event where you've been really happy, really proud of yourself. Look for a time where you've experienced joy, felt like you were fully aligned with purpose, right where you're meant to be. And I want you to float forward to just above that point on your timeline and look down and see what's coming up for you. And now I want you to float down and reintegrate into the timeline, float right down, back into your body. So you're now seeing what you saw, hearing what you heard, and feeling what you felt. And just immerse yourself in those happy feelings. Immerse yourself in those feelings of pride. Immerse yourself in those feelings where perhaps you were spending time with a loved one. Perhaps you were doing something you loved. Perhaps you got that feeling of being completely aligned with purpose. Whatever it is, that good feeling where it feels right. Just notice where that is in your body and turn that up. Turn up that feeling. If there's a colour associated to that good feeling, just turn up the brightness, turn up the brightness. Notice where this feeling is in your body and expand it so it's getting stronger and stronger, so it feels like it's bursting inside of you. And now keep hold of that feeling, but just start to float back up above your timeline. And now I want you to float back to the present day, but bringing all the learnings with you, bringing all the strength, the courage, every experience you've learned from, you've grown from. Collect all that like from beacons of light all the way along your timeline. Collect that light, collect that knowledge, collect that wisdom. And float back to the present day. And now that current day, present moment, I want you to just continue to float right up and just keep floating higher and higher, so you feel like you're floating into space, into the universe where there's infinite time, infinite space, infinite possibilities. And I want you to keep floating until maybe you see another dimension where there's another you, experiencing an unlimited life where everything's aligned, attracting everything you desire that's for the higher good of the collective. A life where everything's easy, it's balanced, it's in flow. Ultimate self for the ultimate good. Access that dimension, float towards it and see that life is eternally present, no past or future. So float into that present moment where you're connected, you're serving, you're powerful, you're limitless. no one and nobody, at one with collective consciousness. Float into that experience and notice how you feel, what your energy's like. Notice colours or shapes or just senses. Soak it in, because this is happening for you now. Time doesn't exist. This is ever present. This is happening for you now. Turn up this energy, this feeling in your body. Remember how it feels to be unlimited, in total alignment with purpose. Everything that's happened to you in this life, in past lives, makes you stronger. Remember this and take it with you now. I'd like to call now on your higher self, your innate self, to guide and assist with an intention to heal. Through your innate self, we ask your cells to release any subconscious programming that they have retained that no longer serves you, that no longer serves your health, your vitality, or your soul's purpose in this life. I'm asking now for your cells to release the energy of any current or past programming, or any residue that's created or contributed to any illness or negativity. And I'm calling on the innate self to substitute these old instructions for new ones, promoting a state where I am completely healthy and free. I'm asking your innate self to extract blueprints for perfect health, reminding that our minds, our bodies, they're an expression of the divinity that I am, and of their eternal and inseparable connection with the all and to source. And I remind my desire and intent to heal. I remind my mind, my body, of its unlimited potential for self-regulation and repair through access to multidimensional information that's available to us all. I express my gratitude to higher self, to innate self, for their support in facilitating whatever changes are required now for the best and highest good at this time. Absorbing and allowing that to happen, and sending thanks. Start to float back to the present day at a time and a pace that's right for you. Coming back, you see your timeline, and when you're ready, I want you to associate back down to your timeline, drop down to the timeline in the present day, bringing with you all the wisdom of the ages, bringing with you the clearing, the healing that's just happened, bringing with you all the knowledge, the strength, the courage that you need, absorbing all those good feelings, knowing you have the power. You're empowered to live your life aligned to purpose and passion.
And turning back down your timeline, go deeper into your past. Perhaps you want to go earlier on in this lifetime. Perhaps your soul self is taking you further back into a past life, deeper and deeper and deeper. Keep walking. Keep walking, and maybe you want to go down in a spiral to go deeper into your consciousness, so you can find yourself walking down and around, down and around, down and around, spiraling like a piece of DNA, the coding, the history, her story of who you are, going round and around, entering a vortex throughout time, space and reality, deeper into your history, your her story, your gnosis. And when you reach a place, you could be going into an origin connection with your loved one, your soul tribe, your family member, that loved one who has passed on, who you've connected with lifetime before and before. You've pulled in your soul family, and you've often got a deep relationship that goes way beyond this life. Perhaps there was lessons that were being learnt as part of your soul's plan. Perhaps you had a deep lineage with them that needs purging and releasing and healing. Perhaps there's comfort in knowing that this isn't the first time you've met them, and it won't be the last. And tapping into that space where you're with them, and if you're having any trouble connecting, the best way to go deeper into the soul is to look at that person, bring their image in your mind's eye, see their eyes and spiral throughout time. These eyes are the windows to the soul, and you can time travel through that consciousness. And give yourself some time to be with them. Maybe it's something that is in childhood that wants to be healed, understood and integrated, a memory, a feeling, a sensation. Maybe your soul is reaching out to forgive this old memory, and let them be released to a higher plane of consciousness. And then there's a part of you that got lost along the way, a part of you that is wanting to be integrated, and pull back in through all you've been through, gently coming back to your heart. That this has been an initiation of yourself. Chance for you to go on the next steps of your journey. And if you've arrived in a past life timeline, step into the wisdom that is there, the connection through these lifetimes of what's brought you back to this loved one in this lifetime. Go quiet while you focus in on what's around you. What wisdom can you pick up? What's calling you to be understood and integrated at this time? And maybe there's a repetitive pattern that's come into this lifetime from that lifetime you met them before, the one that's most prominent, or from childhood that keeps playing out. And we don't want these cords locked into us. We want to release them and come back to the love that we've shared, a soul connection, and also call in our higher light. So releasing this bond, this cord throughout time, just pulling it out from whatever energy vortex it's been locked into, and sealing it with liquid gold light. And traveling up through our higher chakras above the head and surrounding the body, going up all the way into the 12th chakra, the higher divine mind. And through this unconditional unity space of consciousness, know that this is where your loved one will always be. There's a higher part of them, as there is always a higher part of you, a higher self that's connected in with the source, the great goddess, the earth mama, the divine light, or whatever resonates with you, whatever word brings you the highest hope, the highest joy, and the highest love connection. From this space, speak to your loved one in spirit, as you are spirit too. There can never be any dissolvement of this relationship. There can never be any cut off from source. And there is no love lost here, in the space of unconditional love and connection and unity consciousness. Connecting in with an ancestor, a loved one in spirit, or the highest part of your wise self, and gain some information, some knowledge, some gnosis on how to help you at this time. What new journey do you need to go on now? With all the wisdom that you've gained, all the pain you've managed to transmute and release and heal and feel, you brave, brave, brave warrior of light. And with this higher wisdom, this soul anchored intuition, go forward into your new life with the love of them anchored into your heart. All of those you've loved and lost and regained a connection with in spirit. Coming back into your heart space. Breathing in, breathing out. anchoring yourself into the earth at this time, in this reality, in this space. You can tap your feet gently to bring yourself back in, grounding yourself, opening your eyes. And being grateful for the connection of all that is.